What is good, everyone? I'm Dave, and today we're talking about some simple money guidelines to live by. I know that people can get overwhelmed by money and try and overcomplicate things, but most of the time it really helps to just keep things simple, create a plan, and stick to it. Whether you're working on paying off debt or building wealth, these aren't things that happen overnight. Financial success is about the long game and being disciplined over time, and the good part is that you can start making changes today to help you get to where you want to be. So in this video, I'm going to go over some popular money guidelines that people have sworn by for years that I actually follow myself. I hope it helps you learn something, change something, or get a good idea of where you are with your money today. Start with saving for retirement. The general guideline for this is that you should save at least 10% of your income, ideally 15% or more. And I know that can sound like a lot. I remember coming out of college with over $60,000 in student loans and I was making $28,000. I felt pretty proud of myself at the time for contributing 3% to my 401k because that's all I could afford, but there's a reason why everyone wishes that they contributed more earlier. So while I did go on to max out my 401k for the bulk of my 30s, I still wish that I had gotten started in a bigger way earlier. So if you're in your 20s and you're watching this is your moment. When you invest money for retirement, you can expect that money to double every 7 or 8 years, and thanks to the magic of compounding, that doubled money will double again and again and again. So yes, at least 10%, ideally 15% save for retirement. If you're not doing that, you could visit your retirement website and change your contribution amount today. For the Dave Ramsey followers in the building, you'll do this at baby step 4 at 15%. Even if it makes things a little bit tight right now, I can promise you that your future self will thank you later. Next, have an emergency fund that covers at least 3 months of expenses. An emergency fund is there to help you pay for large unexpected bills, and it can also help you out in a long period of unemployment. One of the big reasons why you have an emergency fund is to prevent you from going into debt. So before this number seems huge, remember that we're talking about expenses here, not income. In a true emergency situation, you would cut down a lot on your discretionary spending and you would pretty much live off of your expenses. Most experts say to have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved. I made a whole video to help you figure out how much you need in your emergency fund. I'll link to that in the description. If you're enjoying this video so far, please give it a like to help more people find it on YouTube. Let's talk houses. Put down 20% for a house down payment and let your payment be no more than 25% of your take-home pay. This is one guideline that I see people with really high incomes ignore, and it pains me every time I see it. People who make 6 figures or more are out there putting down payments that don't equal 20% of their house. When you put down 20%, you avoid paying PMI, which is private mortgage insurance, which is an extra fee that you pay on top of your mortgage every month. You're basically being penalized for your inability to delay gratification. So not only does putting down 20% help you in that way, you also own more of your house, so you're highly unlikely to be underwater if the value of your house declines. When you're underwater, the amount of your mortgage is more than the value of your house. And that's a bad place to be. I totally get that it's hard to save 20% and it can take a long time, but if you want it bad enough, you can pick up side jobs, you can do whatever it takes to get to that number. My wife and I made $50,000 in 1 year with side jobs, and you can do it too. If you're having a hard time saving that 20%, or you know that payment is going to be more than 25% of your take-home pay, there's a very good chance that you're buying more house than you can afford. And when you do that, you could end up house poor, which is really a bad place to be because you should be excited about your house and you shouldn't be mad at your house for making you poor. Next one is about free money. Get the match on your 401k. If your company offers a match of some kind on your retirement account, you want to take advantage of it, no matter how much it is. If you get a dollar for dollar match, you're literally doubling your money just for playing. Can you imagine seeing a machine that let you put in $5 and instantly gave you 10 back and you passed it up? That would be crazy. And yet, people do it all the time with their 401ks. It's an instant return on your money that turns into a lot more money down the road with compounding, so when that's available, you grab that bag. Next up is probably the simplest, but man, would the world be in a better place if people would do it. Spend less money than you make. Too many people, even people who make buttloads of money, live just within their means instead of living below them. As a result, people keep living paycheck to paycheck no matter what their income is because their lifestyle keeps creeping up with their income. And yes, there are people in the top 1% of income earners that live paycheck to paycheck, and that's freaking embarrassing. Income is not the same thing as wealth. If you make a buttload of money, but you're terrible at managing it, your net worth might actually be less than someone who makes half of your income but actually has some discipline. Now, I'm not saying to avoid all nice things, but the easiest way for you to build wealth is to live below your means so that you can invest in your future. One of the big things that financial expert Dave Ramsey says is that adults are capable of delaying gratification, and that's where this one comes in. Use the 30-day rule before making any big purchases. The main idea with this is that whenever you have the urge to to splurge on a big unplanned purchase, you give yourself 30 days to think about it. If you've added something to your cart online, remove it. If you have your hands on something in the store, let it go. You can set a reminder for yourself on your phone or write it down in a calendar on the wall, but you give yourself 30 days to think about that purchase. At that point, you make a call. Do you buy it or not? But you have to wait it out. Chances are a lot of these impulse buys are things that you don't actually need, and you end up saving a lot of money this way. Now, let's talk about cars. There are a few different schools of thought on this. A lot of regular people say that the price of your car should not be more than 35% of your household income. So if you make $50,000, you max out at a car price around $17,500, which is a really nice used car. That being said, while this is the rule for regular people, most regular people are not very good with their money, and I think that percentage should be closer to 25%. According to Dave Ramsey, all of your vehicles combined should not add up to more than half of your annual income. So if you make $50,000 but you're driving a $40,000 car, you're doing it wrong. He also says that you shouldn't buy a brand new car unless you have a net worth of $1 million or more. It's very rare to buy a car without some sort of emotional element being involved, but I think it's good to have some guidelines to follow. Money doesn't have to be complicated. Keeping things simple and setting some benchmarks for yourself can be a great way to put yourself on the path to success. If you've made it this far, please give this video a like or share this video with a friend who's trying to get their money right. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Debt Free Differently.